Yeah, so you're losing that to the right. So high left. One more then. Okay, if you come and have a look, you definitely want to lose the ball to the right. It's, yeah, I can see, you know, you're saying you don't really bag the driver much, do you? No. Okay, if we look at your iron to start, you hit 7 irons to start us off. And I say this with most lessons, don't try and fix these numbers as we talk about them, just try and understand what they mean. So how that might kind of look down near impact. Don't think about what your backswing's doing, just think about that little kind of impact area. Yeah. Iron is hitting 4 down, so the club is passing 4 degrees down as it hits the ball. That's quite good with an iron, to be honest. It's a little bit too down maybe for your club head speed, but it's not really, it's good. Hit down, not too bad at all. Your club path, so with the iron, is averaging 8.4 degrees to the left.
Quite a big number.
So out to in. And then the face is averaging 9 open to that 8. So you get some balancers. You swing 8 left on shot 3 and the face was 4 open to that 8 left. So that means the face is around 4 close to target when it hits the ball.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense with the numbers there? So path 8 left. So if we do that, let's pretend that's 8 left.
Yeah.
The face is 4 open to that 8.
Yeah.
So it means it's 4 left of 0.
Okay.
So that ball will start up the left, and it cut back to the target. But then you get ones where you're swinging 8 left with the face 9 open to that 8. So that face is 1 open to target. Ball's going to start target to slightly right and go further right. And then you got some big ones on the miss hits as well. So your face is 2 open to a path. And arguably your path for me is a little bit too far left.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're not going to hit a draw that hits target swinging 8 left ever.
Yeah.
So if you were 2 or 3 left with your path, so like a little bit left, hitting little baby cuts, it wouldn't be such a massive job to get you to hit a draw around a tree if you wanted to have another skill.
Yeah.
But swinging 8 left, you would be one of those players as soon as a draw's needed, like Monty was, you're going to be a bit like, oh, I can't do this shot.
Okay.
Let's play a different course. I'm better on that other course where you don't need that shot kind of thing. So it'd be nice if we could get you a little bit more kind of robust with the kind of shots you're able to hit, not just able to hit stock ones that hit target a bit more, but actually if you needed to move it other ways, it's a possibility to get to there at some point.
Yeah, and you can find the middle ground then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a skill of golf really to be able to try and move the ball around a bit. Driver's the same, but it's more magnified, which is why you don't use your driver. You swing 4 down, which is for me a little bit too much down with your driver.
Oh, definitely.
I'd like to see it. I don't mind a bit of down, but I wouldn't mind getting closer to a bit of up. When you got someone who struggles with so far left path as well, you're 12 left averaging with your driver, which is a big long way left. And then the face is averaging 16 open to that 12, which is why we saw ones going to the right. There's the odd miss hit in there on the 22 degrees, 13 averaging. And then the other thing that you're doing with your iron, which will be interesting to see how it moves, is the strike is a little bit high up the face. You were hitting the ground a lot, which is how you're getting that strike on a mat. A mat like this often is quite like semi-rough, because you can get under it, you know, because there's about that much of mat before you hit the hard stuff. And you are certainly not afraid to get under that ball, which we'll talk about as well. I think as we move your path, I'd imagine that'll change a bit, but that's for us to play and see. Driver, strike, the driver is not playable at the moment. As we move your irons, and then we'll have the same ideas with the driver, I think you'll find it becomes much more playable.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if we look back at your iron, it was a 6 iron that you were hitting, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you're presenting a fraction too much dynamic loft with the 6 iron,
Okay.
which means you're putting a fraction too much of a twist around the axis of the shaft in, which is going to add loft.
Yeah.
And then you're also going to have a bit of handle lean impact as well. So your handle's going to be a little bit too far forward with a bit of shaft lean. So we're going to have to try and take out the twist around the axis of the shaft, and we're going to have to try and take out that shaft lean, which will hopefully bring the dynamic loft number down, and it'll change path and face to path relationships.
Okay.
We might not try and change path. Well, we'll see. I reckon. But we'll see. I reckon we might be able to change path by changing how your face relates to the path.
All right.
Because I can imagine you've spent times trying to change path, swing more to the right,
Yeah.
do those kind of change path things, which we might do. We'll see how you react to the information. If you've got a face that averages 9 open to a path, why would you ever swing at 0?
Yes.
It'd be so counterintuitive for you.
I know. Yeah.
If you've got a face that is always going to be right of wherever the path is, why on earth would you ever swing to the right?
Yeah.
If you swung 2 in, 2 out, that face is just going to be pointing so far out. Your ability to find target, so what people might call coordination, just wouldn't allow you to do that.
No, I wouldn't.
It would be so counterintuitive. So I wouldn't mind having a little go at the face,
All right.
and let's see what that does to the path to start us off.
Okay.
So you stand and hold the club pretty good. You know, I could show you scratch golfers, pro golfers who stand the way you're standing and holding it. There's nothing too much to worry about in what you're doing with your setup. What I would like you to do as you take the club back is try and flatten that left wrist on the backswing. So if you go up to the top and stop for me. Yeah, so I would like you to try and really feel like you're flattening this with this arm.
Okay.
So you're a little bit more this way at the top of your backswing.
All right.
So that's the twist around the axis of the shaft, which is hopefully going to deal a little bit with this dynamic loft.
Okay.
That's basically, as you're swinging that club around your body, you're using the loft in a very slightly different way.
All right.
Okay, so let's do that again. Did that feel different when you did that?
Yeah.
So if it didn't feel that different, do it more. So almost feel like you're bowing your wrist at the top. Really? Yeah, good. That feels different.
Mhm.
Okay, I want you to do it on the way back and the way down.
Right. Okay.
So if you go up to the top and stop, good. Then as you start pulling down, I want you to make sure you feel like you're still keeping that in there.
Okay.
And then just hit it, just hit it. Feel different or the same?
No, definitely different.
Yeah. Should we try?
You didn't turn that.
Yeah, it might go left if your path doesn't move. Just imagine if we get your face squaring to your path and your path stays 8 left. That's going left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to change your data field here. Cool. There we go. So strike was too high on the face. You caught the ground again. Your path was 6.8 left, which we'll come back to if we need to. But that face was 0 to the path then.
Okay.
So if you swung the club like that every time, the big question you would ask yourself, or I would ask you, is why do you swing left?
If you went down, you keep them going left down.
Well, what would happen, well, what I mean by that question is what you would self-discover often, hopefully it'll happen, is it makes no sense to swing left anymore.
Yeah.
Because the face is level with the path, so why don't I make the path swing towards the target?
Yeah.
You've got to remember, your desire to hit target, you've got an instinct to hit target, which you might not be able to articulate or even be able to know that you're doing, but you've got this, people call it coordination, you've got this desire to find target. So your path is going 8 left, 10 left. Your desire to hit target makes you keep that face to the right of that path. You don't know you're doing it, it's just your desire to hit that target. So if the face levels up with your path, your desire to hit target hopefully is still there.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't move the face, keep the face the way it's working, your path should start to straighten out.
Okay.
Not for everyone, but for lots. But let's do some more. That was good. So first go, you did it. You got the face squaring up to a path there. Let's good.
Just
When
move
you're
my
ready.
path a little bit.
No, don't move.
No?
Just keep doing the face. Just keep twisting that wrist on the way back and on the way down. Don't change anything else. Good. I want the wrist to move more than that. Face was 7 open to the path there.
It's on the down part, I think.
Back and down, but definitely on the down, you're happy to try and put the wrong twist in.
Yeah, but this one we go.
So if you go up to the top and stop, bit more twist there with you, yeah, and then on the way down, don't hit the, yeah, just really feel like you're bowing that wrist into it, leaving it behind you. If you do it too much, you'll just get a big draw.
Alright.
That's not a bad thing to feel at the start. Like that, that's trying to draw. It's good. And again, that face there was 1.9 close to the path. So working the wrist hard still.
Yeah.
And where do you feel like you're aiming slightly down the right?
Slightly down the right, yeah.
Okay, you feel like you're going to swing slightly down the right?
Yeah.
And work that wrist as hard as you can. So a bit of a high draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's show you this. So iron number 2, we started with 8 degrees path left, face averaging 9 open to that path.
Yeah.
We're 32 minutes in. I reckon we're 7 to 12 minutes in of you hitting shots after a conversation.
Okay.
So the first 15, 20 minutes was dotting up the club, talking about what you are, you know, how often do you play, you hitting a few shots, showing me what you do.
Yeah.
So you've actually been doing it probably like less than 10 minutes.
I was going to say 10 then.
Yeah. Your path is now only 4 left, so we've halved your path.
Mm-hmm.
And your face is now averaging 2 close to that path, which is why we're starting to see draws. They're going a bit too far left because your path is still a fraction left.
Okay.
But what we start to see on the last 3 or kind of 2 to 3 shots, where I said to you, work the wrist like you're doing, but maybe feel like you're aiming slightly down the right for a draw.
Yeah.
And maybe feel like you're swinging that way a fraction as well.
The club path went down.
Well, your club path went to +2 on one shot with the face 4 close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, you were only swinging 2 left with the face 2 close to it.
Yeah, better numbers, isn't it?
Well, if it's better or not is for you to discover on a course. So how much more functional that is actually when you play is a bigger question. I believe it'll be much more functional.
Okay.
But to believe that a draw is better than a fade blanket is not true.
No.
You know, Monty couldn't play with a draw. But I think you losing shots off to the right consistently is just killing you.
Yeah.
Where I can see you hitting this shot stronger, further, better, basically, as a whole. So these are your drivers, these blue ones, the longer ones. But look at your better iron shots, so a little bit left because we've not quite got the putt. Look how much longer they're going.
Yeah.
Through strike, through the fact that look at your dynamic loft, it's come down to 20. So we've got 1 at 14 there, which is it's got to be a slight misread on a ground hit. 21.5 if we take that one out from 27. So companies, who have you got? You've got TaylorMade, famous for cranking lofts, and you know they do things to try and make the ball go further within their remit because they've got rules, strict rules around what they can do with any of these clubs.
Yeah.
All the companies have. We've changed the loft of that club from 27.9, 28 degrees down to, let's call that 22.
Yeah.
So I've moved the loft of your club at 6 degrees.
Bargain.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
To think about so many people perv over clubs and shafts, and I mean, I've changed your loft by 6 degrees in a fortnight. A company can't do that. They're not allowed to do that. If they de-lofted a club by 6 degrees, it would offset the club so much it would look ugly.
Yeah.
They'll move them by 2 or 3 degrees at the most, which is why I always have from the start. I don't know if you watch the club reviews. I do, but I mean, I do club reviews really just to show people they should get lessons.
Yeah.
That's why I do them.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I don't do them to sell clubs. I do them to say, actually, They do very little, guys. You know, I know you like looking at them and they are fun and shiny, but bigger changes can happen with you. Yeah, absolutely. So let's do some more. So we've got 2 forts. We're revving the wrist both ways.
Yeah.
Just keep them set up where it is, apart from maybe aiming a fraction down the right.
Okay.
Aiming down the right to hit a draw, what does that make you think? Does that make you think, oh, that's not what you meant to do? Or do you not?
No, I quite understand that you have to point your club face slightly right to
Good.
start. But
Yeah.
obviously your path will have to be more right.
Of
and
that.
your face
Correct.
slightly closer.
Excellent.
To the back end.
Yeah, perfect. So lots of people, and certainly people who watch, and certainly I get students who come, when I say aim down the right to hit a draw, they're like, well, you're not meant to aim, you know, surely that's not right, is it? Right is aiming at the target and hitting a draw. The world's best players do not aim at the target.
No.
If they're shaping it. They're aiming for their shape. The amount of shots I hit where I'm taking dead aim, trying to hit a dead straight shot in a round is minute. I'm always aiming, you know, 5 yards right to draw it in, or I'm aiming up the left to just kind of push it into the flag a bit, what have you.
And you think of it as like a free kick in football.
Yeah,
sort of
absolutely.
angle,
Yeah.
And I sort of starting it right for it to curl.
Yeah.
You never run on a dead straight.
Totally. The amount of people that think there is a correct setup.
Yeah.
It just baffles me that that's the way, you know, it's so not true. So I'm just going to change the data field. So we're going to get a few more true numbers. We're going 2 swing forts, revving the wrist both ways, backswing, downswing. And you've got to feel like you're swinging slightly more down the right, just a fraction, just swing it out to the right fraction. Okay. Go on again. Yeah, it's good. Out to the right, drifting back. Ah, it's crazy better. Look at that. 4 from the inside. You're less down at it now. You're still 2 down, which I'm happy. 24 degrees dynamic loft. So again, I'm strengthening your clubs by a whole club there. Club and a half almost. Mm-hmm. Pretty good strike as well towards the toe, but on the red line. The red line will always feel very solid. Certainly with a cavity back iron like that. It's great. No kind of like dropping clubs or any, you know, none of the massive moves that people practice for years. It's the turn in the wrist and then a fraction, moving your focus more to the right of target.
Yeah.
Makes you change that path from, what was it, 8 left?
Yeah.
That's 10 degrees of change. How many lessons have you had trying to change your path? Let's do it again. It's good. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more videos. Find me on Instagram at Crossfield Mark. Also on Twitter at 4golfonline. Find me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield. Thanks for watching. Post comments as always, and see you soon.